Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may.
First of all, here's your first set of advice. Stop calling it a case. Ain't nothing happened. You ain't do nothing. Ain't a case, nah.
For one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school, and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video, and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself, because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed. Number 2, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I would all of them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for their job. My next point I'd like to make is, if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate.
That's true.
Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. It doesn't have to be weird. Some people have never...
Now, some people can make it weird, and that's something we've definitely seen other people do before. But that being said, you're right, it is just hair. You go to the hairstylist, it doesn't have to be intimate. You don't have to even talk to the person who you're getting your hair done. Like, you go to the barber. You and your barber intimate? I hope y'all not saying that if you in the comments talking about this is weird, right? As the whole thing is being filmed, he's not doing nothing. But of course you'll hear that if you're a grown man interacting with women who are younger than you, it's automatically an issue, right?
The difference that he's clearly showing here is that he's building structure nonetheless, because there is a boundary that he is still keeping and maintaining where it's not talking about them intimately, personally, meanwhile they're doing his hair. So he's still building some type of structure around them and still engaging with them and keeping to their core self-beings, because women do this. This is what women do. So
I mean, literally, this could potentially be a profession done by one or more of these people when they grow up. So, like, it's not that far-fetched to have that done. Now, that being said...
And they're not being mischievous.
You're right, but wait. But let's take it from the side of a parent who just hears that this happened. It's like, that may sound weird if you're a parent. You hear your 16-year-old, 15-year-old daughter is
engaging,
is helping take out the hair of the young tattooed teacher at school. They're gonna be like, it ain't an old man, son. I wonder why your daughter volunteered. I wonder why. It don't matter what he doing. Why you think she volunteered for this? So like that automatically could put it in a weird space.
Never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher.
That's true, but personally, I wouldn't do
this.
this.
Know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics, because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life. And my admin, they're well aware of my social media presence and they love my videos. To me, this is just another wholesome moment that I'm having with my kids that I was fortunate enough to catch on film. Since I'm a science teacher, one thing that I teach my students about is symbiosis.
Frog or a lizard?
Symbiosis deals with the relationships between organisms. The type of relationship that I like to foster in my class is mutualism, or mutualistic relationship.
So this is interesting. I mean, like I said, from a teacher standpoint, there's nothing wrong with trying to engage with your students on a different level and having them help you with something like this if that's something that they're interested in doing and doesn't necessarily make it weird or even make it intimate unless that's where your mind is trying to take it.
And kids feel more at ease when they can relate to a teacher who is more understanding, even if they're an adult.
Right. But that being said, I think it should be noted that there's an extreme difference in how society perceives relationships with men and women of different ages, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're a female teacher engaging with female students or even with male students, even though we've seen female teachers get caught engaging in inappropriate activity with male students recently a lot more, mm-hmm. Still, that's not something that's inherently seen as weird. So, for example, if you're a grown woman walking down the street and you see a little boy and you can't find their fucking parents, right? You could easily walk up to them, grab them by the hand, bring them where they need to go, help them, whatever.
Nurturing characteristics of a woman that would make this not seem suspicious.
Right. Someone seeing this behavior would not believe that this is threatening or that anything is going to happen. Right. They would just assume that you're on the up and up, right. Even if you're about to kidnap the child. That doesn't matter. They'll believe you.
Yeah.
But if you're a grown man and you see a little girl, you're a little boy, but a little girl is worse. Mm-hmm. And you try to help her to take her somewhere, you bring her somewhere.
You're kidnapping her.
People would 100% question mm-hmm. what you did to this child and if you're not the one who made her not be next to her parents in the first place. Mm-hmm. Right? And so that's something that's just being transferred to the classroom here, mm-hmm. where he's a grown man, his students are underage girls, and their proximity to him is automatically their proximity to him outside of the structured classroom setting automatically appears to be weird to some people or to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a social issue. That's not something that can necessarily be corrected overnight.
Right.
Because they're engaging in the exact same activity, yet it's perceived differently.
Right.
Which means both organisms benefit from the exchange. So when my students have good behavior, complete all their assignments, and do everything that a scholar is supposed to do, I reward them with downtime.
He teaching, right?
Just be a kid, be on their phones, play games, gossip, so on and so forth. My students and I work hard and we play harder. I'm fortunate enough to have students
who is petting this lizard
comfortable around me, safe to come to me with their problems, their frustrations. They come to me seeking guidance and wisdom, or come to me simply to chill and hang out because they know that they have a safe space to be themselves around me. What I strive to do as
but at the same time, there'd be a lot of teachers that be cool like this, and they be the ones that get caught doing stuff.
That makes my inner child happy. Someone that my inner child will be proud of.
You gotta balance it too.
A teacher that my students reflect back on 20, 30 years down the line and think like, dang, that teacher I had in middle school, he was the shit. No further questions, Your Honor. So let me know your thoughts in the comments.
It's an interesting, dilemma, but I mean, go ahead.
Like I said earlier, the fact that kids need to feel like they can relate to somebody.
Yeah.
And the teacher being a teacher, they should have those bounds. So it's just like, it's hard to differentiate the person who's going to be harming your child because they're going to use that card to actually try to relate to that child and come down to their level. So you would never know, regardless of whether or not they're being sincere.
And that's why it looks weird to parents.
Motive. Right. So you can't write off that this is going to be weird regardless of the situation because of the simple fact that we cannot read what your intentions are, if you're truly there for the purpose of teaching those kids or there to just mask that and try to harm them.
But at the very least, you give people the benefit of the doubt because you're innocent until proven guilty.
Right. And
so
until proven guilty, you'll have those cues. Kids will shy off. You'll have all those type of characteristics that show that kid is not comfortable.
That something's being done to them, right?
Right.
And ain't nothing going on here.
So you can't just jump off a GP that somebody's going to harm your child just because they're doing the things that help relate to that child so they can help guide them.
But you should see some of the comments though. People are really bent out of shape about it. Like, this is weird, blah blah blah. I'm like, is it? They're at school still.
Right.
Hey, listen. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is it weird? Tell me.